Betrayed by her own family, abandoned in a foreign land, and left to fend for herself, she had clawed her way back, determined, fierce, and unwilling to bow to fate.
Chapter 21. One had to know that Xiao Bao was extremely fond of silence. Usually, he would hide in his room alone after he finished eating. The servants in the house had to return to their rooms after they were done with their work. They were not allowed to make a single sound. Otherwise, Xiao Bao would become extremely agitated and even lose control if he was slightly disturbed. Old Madame Lu just felt sorry for Xiao Bao and went into his room a few times to bring him food, but Xiao Bao locked himself in the attic. Because of this, old Madame Lu didn't dare to move in with them even though they loved Xiao Bao so much. But now, Xiao Bao actually came out of his own accord. Not only that, Xiao Bao ran straight to Lu Tingxiao and hugged his leg. Lu Jingli burst into laughter. "What are you doing, Xiao Bao?" Hugging his leg. Quote, Lu Tingxiao looked down at his son and knew what he wanted to do at a glance. He refused without hesitation. "No, you already went there last night." So Xiao Bao's eyes fell on his mobile phone. "You already called me once during dinner." Lu Tingxiao refused again. Lu Jingli, who was at the side, understood. So the little fellow missed Ning Xi. Xiao Bao saw that his papa couldn't be persuaded, so he ran over to Lu Jingli and used the same trick again, hugging his leg. Lu Jingli was flattered. "No, no, no, baby, don't do this. You know your second uncle can't stand you acting cute." Although the little baby was usually dull, once he needed someone's help, his expression and demeanor would be so adorable that you would want to die. When he raised his small head and looked at you with those big eyes that were as beautiful as the stars, you simply wanted to pluck the stars from the sky for him. The only one in the family who could resist this trick was Lu Tingxiao. Lu Jingli spread out his hands helplessly. "Xiao Bao, it's useless to act cute. I can't beat your father." As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Bao immediately let go of Lu Jingli. He was very decisive. Seeing the little boy's expression as if he had been separated by his heartless parents, Lu Jingli leaned against the wall and laughed. "Hey, Xiao Bao, you don't have to be so anxious. There's a saying that if two people love each other for a long time, they won't stay together day and night. When your father marries Aunt Xiaoxi, you'll see her every day." Persuasion failed. The little guy ran out of the door. Lu Jingli shrugged. "What should we do? He ate a lot tonight," Lu Tingxiao said. In other words, he wouldn't be able to use the hunger strike for the time being. Lu Jingli calmed down after hearing his brother's words. However, they had still underestimated Xiao Bao. He was just a kid, so he didn't need any strategy. All he needed was to make a scene. As soon as he finished speaking, a loud bang came from the living room downstairs. Lu Jingli and his brother looked at each other, and the two of them quickly ran downstairs. In just a short while, the living room downstairs was already in a mess. In the corner, the antique vase that was as tall as a person had fallen to the ground and shattered into pieces. Everything that could be pushed over or broken was not spared. Lu Qingyu. Usually, Lu Tingxiao would only call out Xiao Bao's full name when he was really angry. Even Lu Jingli couldn't stand it, let alone Xiao Bao. Xiao Bao trembled with fear at his father's terrible face, but he became even more emotional. He screamed at the top of his lungs and ran around to destroy things. Lu Jingli hurriedly chased after him, but he didn't dare to run too fast. There were so many pieces on the ground, and if he accidentally fell on them, the consequences would be disastrous. Chapter 22. Brother, we can't go on like this. Let's ask Ning Xi to come here. Don't. Lu Tingxiao scolded. Lu Jingli tried to persuade him. Brother, Xiao Bao is still a child. He is not your subordinate. You are too strict with him. What's wrong with spoiling him a little? Every child is willful and mischievous. Quote, It's not your place to criticize my way of education. Lu Tingxiao's face was as cold as frost. It seemed that he had made up his mind not to encourage Xiao Bao's bad habit of making trouble to achieve his goal. Lu Jingli was in a dilemma between the father and son. It was really a headache. If things got out of hand and alerted his parents, the fact that he took Xiao Bao to the bar would probably be exposed. God, someone come and save him. While Lu Tingxiao went to catch Xiao Bao, Lu Jingli quickly took out his cell phone and secretly called Ning Xi. At night Ning Xi was reading the script at home and chatting with someone on the internet. Dirty Monster King, Ning Xi, can you change your non-mainstream QQ name? It's so annoying. Moaning and moaning, isn't the Dirty Demon King an eyesore? How dare you say that to me? Dirty Monster King, ahem, I will return to China next month. Pick me up at the airport. Quote, No, I don't have time. Dirty Monster King, pick me up. I said I don't have time. Dirty Monster King, are you coming or not? The other party doesn't want to talk to you and throws a dog at you. Dirty Monster King, the other party caught your dog and beat it up. The dog's heart feels like being pricked by a needle. Dirty Monster King, F***CK. Why are you dirtier than me? And who the F***CK is a needle? You dirtied me first. I don't want to talk to you. I want to read the script. Dirty Monster King, she is just a supporting actress. What's so interesting about it? We had a good relationship. Do you really want to be so heartless? There are so many people who have a good relationship with me. Who do you think you are? Dirty monster king, Ning Xi. Wait and see. Ning Xi turned off the computer and concentrated on reading the script. After a while, her cell phone suddenly rang. It was a strange number. She was worried that it was a call from the crew, so she picked it up immediately. Hey, Ning Xi, help. I'm Lu Jingli. Come to the palace immediately. Something's happened to Xiao Bao. What happened to Xiao Bao? Ning's eyes heart immediately tightened. Anyway, it's urgent. Hurry over, brother, calm down, the child is still young. Xiao Bao, you can't fall, ah. Lu Jingli made it sound so serious, and the sound of things falling and breaking came from the other end of the phone. Ning Xi became even more nervous. She hurriedly changed her clothes and answered, I'll be right there. She didn't know what was wrong with her, but she couldn't sit still the moment she heard that Xiao Bao was in trouble. Even though they had only known each other for a few days, he had been unable to let go of her. It was quite a distance away from the palace and it would take at least 40 minutes to get there by taxi. Ning Xi was worried that something might happen during such a long time, so she pushed her motorcycle out of the garage and rushed there at lightning speed. It was supposed to take 40 minutes, but it only took Ning Xi 10 minutes to get there. Lu Jingli must have informed the security guard. After Ning Xi gave him her name, the security guard let her in directly. When she arrived at Villa number 8, there was a maid waiting outside to show her the way. Chapter 23. For the convenience of riding, Ning Xi was wearing a tight black leather jacket and trousers. She hurried over and took off her helmet and gloves. Her long hair cascaded over her shoulders like a waterfall. She looked handsome and arrogant. Lu Jingli almost couldn't help but whistle when he saw her in this form. Lu Qingyu, do you really think I don't dare to hurt you? In the corner of the living room, Lu Tingxiao grabbed his son who had nowhere to run. The little boy struggled violently in his arms, like an extremely angry little beast, crazily flashing his tender little claws. No. Ning Xi rushed over and snatched Xiao Bao away. Xiao Bao looked up at her and was stunned for a second. Then his big eyes turned red and he plunged into Ning Xi's arms, clinging to her and never letting go. Looking at the little boy who was so cute and soft yesterday, but now his eyes were full of fear and he was trembling all over, Ning Xi felt so sorry for him. She was so angry that she couldn't care less about the terrible boss and said, Mr. Lu, I know I'm in no position to say anything as an outsider, but I still want to say that your way of education is really problematic. Children need warmth at such a young age. Besides, Xiao Bao's situation is special. He has been stimulated and he doesn't have a mother by his side. You should be more patient and tolerant to him. How can you be so fierce to him? Don't you see how scared he is? You even wanted to fight with him. Quote, Lu Tingxiao said, it's my fault. Lu Jingli, haha. Lu Jingli chuckled as he listened to his brother's clean admission of his mistake. When I said there was something wrong with your way of education, you just scolded me in the face. Ning Xi said you were so obedient. After Ning Xi came, Xiao Bao was like a puppy that had seen its owner. He was very obedient, completely different from the crazy lion cub just now. He obediently let Ning Xi lead him back to the room without moving a muscle. On the sofa, Ning Xi gently touched Xiao Bao's head to comfort him. What happened? Wasn't he fine this morning? Quote, Lu Jingli sighed. What else could it be? Xiao Bao missed you and wanted to see you, but my brother wouldn't let him. I wanted to call you, but my brother didn't let me. He didn't want to disturb you. In the end, Xiao Bao started to cause a ruckus. He ran around and smashed everything in the living room. My brother didn't want to indulge his bad habit, and the two of them had a falling out. Then, it became like what you saw when you came. Just because you won't see me or call me. Ning Xi found it hard to understand. Although Lu Tingxiao had said that Xiao Bao was relying on her, was her influence really that great? What do you think? You're underestimating your own influence. Seeing that she was confused, Lu Jingli listed them out for her. Remember that day in the warehouse? When you fainted, Xiao Bao didn't allow anyone to touch you. In the end, it was my brother who personally carried you to the hospital. Ning Xi subconsciously glanced at Lu Tingxiao. Lu Tingxiao carried her to the hospital. Also, at the hospital, when Xiao Bao woke up and saw that you weren't there, he thought that you were dead. He went berserk on the spot and almost jumped off the building. My brother showed him the note you left for Xiao Bao, and only then did he calm down. Last night, in order to see you, Xiao Bao went on a hunger strike and threatened my brother. As for tonight, because of your call, he ate too much and couldn't use the all-purpose hunger strike, so he did this. Ate too much. Tonight, she did tell Xiao Bao to eat more on the phone. How could it be her fault? Chapter 24. Lu Jingli's words contained so much information that it took Ning Xi a long time to digest it. She looked at Xiao Bao, who was clinging to her. Xiao Bao, did you smash things because you wanted to see me? Xiao Bao nodded. Ning Xi frowned. Do you know it's wrong? Xiao Bao shook his head. Ning Xi finally knew why Lu Tingxiao was so strict. He must have been spoiled too much at home and felt that everything should go according to his wishes. Ning Xi's eyes became serious. Auntie is telling you now that it's wrong. Only bad kids will do this. Don't do this again, okay? Quote. Xiao Bao nodded. Lu Tingxiao's expression was indescribable. Although Xiao Bao was naughty, he would do as long as he agreed. The psychiatrist had tried all kinds of methods to deal with Xiao Bao's bad habit of going on hunger strike, locking himself up, and even smashing things, but Xiao Bao didn't buy it at all. As for forced correction, the two old men at home were reluctant to do it. Every time, they would be obedient halfway through. Ning Xi's influence on Xiao Bao seemed to be greater than he had imagined. Of course, he was naturally happy to see this happen. After Ning Xi finished reasoning with Xiao Bao, she coaxed him to sleep softly. Well, can I change a song for you today? Xiao Bao nodded obediently. Ahem, let me think what to sing, I got it. Calabash Brothers, 7 flowers on one vine, not afraid of wind and rain, la 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 la. Lu Jingli, who was leaning against the door frame, staggered and almost fell. How could Xiao Bao like such childish children's songs with his IQ? He found that the little boy was listening with relish. What was worse, his brother was also listening with relish. Finally coaxing Xiao Bao to sleep, Ning Xi stretched. I've almost sung all the children's songs I've learned in my life. Lu Jingli didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Why do you have to sing children's songs? You can sing other songs too. These children's songs are shocking to me. Quote. Ning Xi tied up her long hair with the rubber band on her wrist and raised her bright almond-shaped eyes slightly. Other songs. Except for children's songs, all the other songs I know are not suitable for children. Quote. As soon as she finished speaking, Lu Tingxiao's mind instantly flashed with her soft and lingering, dancing light stream. Lu Jingli was excited. Ha ha ha, really? What song? Sing it for me. Quote. Lu Tingxiao glanced at him. Lu Jingli was so frightened that he immediately behaved himself, silently cursing his brother for being so petty. You were nearby just now? Lu Tingxiao asked. Otherwise, she wouldn't have come so quickly. No, I'm at my apartment. I sped all the way here on my motorcycle. Hurry up, Ning Xi said proudly. No wonder he was dressed like this. Today's outfit was even more stunning than yesterday's. Yesterday, she was like a fairy that adhered to the rules, but today, she was like a free and unrestrained fairy. Very dangerous. Lu Tingxiao's face was full of disapproval. Then he glared at Lu Jingli, who had taken the liberty to call Ning Xi over. It's okay. I'm good at riding. Ning Xi waved her hand carelessly and yawned. Since Xiao Bao is fine, I'll leave first. She was about to leave when Lu Tingxiao suddenly said, Miss Ning, I have a presumptuous request. Ning Xi immediately reverted to her cowardly self after her anger was depleted. She said respectfully, Mr. Lu, please tell me. I'll do it as long as it's within my power. The Lu family had influence in both the underworld, and Demon King Lu was someone who would fight with others over the slightest disagreement. Lu Tingxiao looked at his son in the room with a dignified expression. Last time at the bar, after he was accidentally locked in the warehouse, the shock Xiao Bao received was far more serious than I imagined. Right now, only you can comfort him. Before Xiao Bao's emotions recover, I hope that Miss Ning can temporarily move in for a period of time. After hearing Lu Tingxiao's words, Ning Xi was stunned. Move in, here. Quote. Chapter 25. Yes. Ning Xi scratched her head awkwardly. This isn't appropriate. If Xiao Bao wants to see me, I can come and see him at any time. Quote. Lu Tingxiao pinched his eyebrows tiredly. There are too many uncertainties, especially at night. If something unexpected happens, it will be too dangerous for you to rush over like this. With my status, it's not convenient for me to bring Xiao Bao to see you frequently. I know this is a difficult request, but as Xiao Bao's father, I still want to fight for it. I hope you can agree. Quote. Ning Xi was having a headache. If Lu Tingxiao were to use his power to pressure her, she would definitely turn around and leave. However, with his status and identity, he was begging her so sincerely. Especially in front of such a peerless beauty, facing such a face, she really couldn't refuse awe. At this moment, Lu Jingli was staring at his own brother with a look of worship. Absolutely amazing. He really didn't expect that his brother would use such a high-end method to open up a bloody path to Ning Xi, turning a disadvantage into an advantage on the road to Ning Xi. Xiao Bao's existence was not an obstacle to him, but his greatest help. Just at this time, a bang sound rang out, and the table lamp on the bedside table was knocked over. Xiao Bao suddenly jumped off the bed with a panicked expression and rushed out. It was not until he saw Ning Xi that the fear in his eyes receded and he pounced on her legs like an arrow leaving the bowstring. The incomparable fear in his eyes was heart-wrenching. Ning Xi hurriedly squatted down. Baby, why are you awake? The little fellow buried his head in her body, and his soft little hands wrapped tightly around her neck, refusing to let go. Good boy, Auntie is here. Don't be afraid. Ning Xi patted the little boy's back and smelled the sweet milk fragrance of the little boy. She felt very complicated. She clearly hated to be near children, but why couldn't she hate Xiao Bao? Ning Xi could only coax Xiao Bao to sleep again, and then gently closed the door and walked out. The messy living room downstairs had been neatly cleaned up by the servants. No wonder they were servants of the Lu family. Not only were they efficient, but they were also well trained. Although they were all curious about Ning Xi's arrival, no one looked at her more than once, nor did they dare to whisper to each other. They left quietly as soon as they finished their work. Seeing her come out, Tingxiao just looked at her quietly, didn't say anything, and didn't give her any pressure. Ning Xi looked hesitant, but when she thought of how Xiao Bao was tugging at the corner of her clothes, her heart softened in the end. She took a deep breath and said, "Okay, Mr. Lu, I'll help you. Take it as repayment for saving me before." Tingxiao's expression relaxed. "Thank you. Xiao Bao may wake up at any time. It seems that I can't leave tonight, but my things are still in the apartment." Ning Xi was in a dilemma. "Don't worry, I'll get someone to get it for you," Tingxiao said and instructed the butler to send someone to make the arrangements. Lu Jingli, who hadn't said a word from the beginning to the end, was dumbfounded by this godlike development. Were they living together? Is there anything else? Tingxiao gave Lu Jingli a sidelong glance. "I'll get lost right now." The light bulb that was despised by her own brother quickly left. Originally, he thought that Ning Xi's strength could crush him, but now it seemed that his brother was not easy to deal with either. He finally realized that it wasn't that his brother didn't know how to hit on girls, it was just that he hadn't broken the seal in the past 32 years. Tingxiao brought Ning Xi into the room next to Xiao Bao's bedroom. "You can live here from now on. What style do you like? I'll get someone to redecorate it." Ning Xi waved her hand hurriedly. "No need, I'll leave after a few days. It's not like I'll be staying here forever. It's too troublesome to redecorate it." "It's not troublesome at all." Tingxiao took a bunch of keys from the butler and handed them to her. "This is the key to the house. You can go in and out as you please. The door is locked with a password. The password is 591,414. This is the key to the attic. You have to keep it close to your body. Xiao Bao likes to take the key and hide inside. This is." Seeing that Tingxiao was about to give her the key to the safe, Ning Xi hurriedly interrupted him. "Wait a minute, Mr. Lu, you're too trusting of me. Aren't you afraid that I'll empty your house?" Quote, "What do you want? I'll get someone to help you." Tingxiao said seriously, he wasn't joking at all. Chapter 26. Cough, cough, cough. Ning Xi was defeated by Tingxiao's train of thought and hurriedly explained, "I was just joking, joking." Tingxiao was addicted to giving her keys and casually gave her another one. "It's not easy to get a taxi here and it's not convenient for you to work. You can take this car and drive it." Ning Xi. Why did she feel like she was a kept woman even though she was only staying for a short period of time? That's not right. If he was a kept woman, he should hide it outside. How could he give her all the keys to the main house and even his own son? Damn, this was clearly the déjà vu of a newlywed couple. She inexplicably recalled Tingxiao's sudden marriage proposal when they first met. She thought that she understood men quite well, but the one in front of her was like a computer system with an advanced firewall installed. She couldn't see through him at all. She didn't know if it was a blessing or a curse for her to agree to stay. That night, because Xiao Bao's condition was really bad, Ning Xi directly accompanied him to sleep on his little bed just in case. Late at night, the room door was gently pushed open without a sound. The man walked in slowly and sat down on the edge of the bed. Under the dim yellow bedside light, the woman maintained the posture of patting Xiao Bao. Her breathing was light and her eyes were gentle. Her lips that were as tender as the cherry on a summer branch opened slightly, as if inviting him silently. After a while, the peaceful light suddenly cast a shadow. The man's figure slowly approached the dark red petal. At a distance where they could smell each other's breath, he could pluck it with just a slight movement. However, he suddenly restrained himself and stopped. His slightly cold kiss landed on the woman's forehead. "Ning Xi, we have a lot of time in the future." The next morning, Ning Xi thought that she could recognize her bed, but she didn't expect to sleep so well. She woke up naturally and didn't even have a dream. When she woke up, she found that Xiao Bao was already awake. The little fellow was sitting next to her with a book in his arms and reading it seriously. He didn't make a single sound. He was so obedient. She really couldn't imagine the little bun flipping out. "Baby, good morning Tilda." Ning Xi sat up with the quilt in her arms and greeted him warmly. Xiao Bao immediately raised his head from his book in pleasant surprise. Although he did not speak, his expression did not change, but Ning Xi could clearly feel his good mood from his eyes that seemed to be able to speak. Ning Xi laughed and reached out to flick the messy ahoge on little Baozi's head. "Auntie doesn't have work today, so I can stay at home with you for the whole day." As soon as he finished speaking, the little fellow was obviously even happier, and the corners of his mouth even curled up slightly. Ning Xi was so adorable that she couldn't help but hold his little face and rub it. "Baby, smile more. You're so cute when you smile." After washing up, breakfast was already prepared downstairs. Ning Xi didn't see Tingxiao, and the butler and servants didn't mention waiting for him, so Ning Xi guessed that he must have gone to the company. After breakfast, Ning Xi was still a little worried about how to take care of the child. What if she couldn't take good care of him? In the end, none of the things she worried about happened. In the morning, she curled up on the sofa to read a script, while Xiaobao lay on the table next to her, engrossed in reading or drawing. The two of them did not disturb each other and got along very well. The servant only appeared once to deliver snacks and fruits, and her movements were very light, as if she was afraid of disturbing him. From the looks of it, Xiaobao usually liked peace and quiet. Chapter 27. In the corner, the old butler was silently watching the two people in the living room. He found that Ning Xi was not trying her best to please the young master as he had guessed, but was focused on reading the script the whole morning. The young master was reading paintings as usual, and there seemed to be nothing different. However, if one looked closely, he would steal glances at Ning Xi from time to time, and the expression on his little face was vivid and reassuring. Perhaps it was because a woman who was too beautiful always made people feel insecure. The old butler was worried at first sight of Ning Xi, for fear that the young master would be deceived by her. According to the current observation, she was quite well behaved, but he didn't know how long she could endure. There were so many women in the capital who were eyeing the position of Mrs. Lu covetously, thinking of ways to become Xiaobao's stepmother. Because of this, there was even such a terrible incident 2 years ago, causing the young master. So this time, seeing that the young master trusted that woman so much, and that the second young master didn't stop him, and even the young master seemed to like that woman, he was really on tenterhooks and had to be on guard. Unknowingly, more than 2 hours passed. Ning Xi was almost done reading the script, and Xiaobao's painting was also done. He carried it over and showed it to her. Ning Xi looked up, and her face was full of surprise. Is this a painting of me? She really couldn't tell that Xiaobao looked so quiet, but his painting style was actually that of a fauvist. The characteristics of fauvist painters were that they liked to use bright and rich colors, and use straightforward and rough brushwork to create a strong picture effect to express the feelings they wanted to express. Although the proportions of the characters in this painting were strange and the structure was strange, it accurately captured the characteristics of the characters, so Ning Xi recognized herself at a glance. Xiaobao nodded with the painting in his arms, looking a little nervous, as if he was worried that she wouldn't like it. It's really so beautiful. Can I take a picture of it and use it as the desktop of my phone? Ning Xi wasn't deliberately praising Xiaobao, but she especially liked the fauvist style, and liked the strong color contrast. And Xiaobao's level was already at the level of a master, judging from her understanding of paintings. Xiaobao pursed his lips shyly, and directly stuffed the painting into her arms. Ning Xi pointed to herself. You want to give it to me? Xiaobao nodded. Thank you. I like it so much. Ning Xi hugged Little Bun and kissed him on his soft cheek. Little Baozi stared blankly for a moment, then his little face flushed red. His pair of dull eyes became even more lively. The adult and the child were getting along warmly when Ning Xi heard footsteps coming from above her head. She looked up in the direction of the voice and saw Lu Tingxiao walking down the stairs lazily. He was dressed in his home clothes and had a messy hairstyle that he had just woken up from a nap. Although Lu Tingxiao's usual abstinence look was charming, this lazy look was too different from his usual look, so it was even more lethal. It was simply hopelessly sexy. Ning Xi was in a daze for a long time before she reacted. Mr. Lu, you didn't go to work today. Wasn't it Monday today? Yes, I'm off today. Lu Tingxiao nodded. Ning Xi thought about it and felt it was no wonder. He had just finished a big deal, so it was normal for him to rest for a while. It turned out that Big Boss Lu also knew how to sleep in. Inexplicably, the distance between them became closer. Chapter 28. It's Xiao Bao's first time drawing a portrait. Lu Tingxiao glanced at the painting in Ning Xi's hand. Really? That's an honor. Ning Xi was happy. What do you want for lunch? Lu Tingxiao asked. It seemed like she was not only staying here but also providing for her meals. Ning Xi was about to speak when her phone rang. It was Chong Li. Was she going to arrange for her to play a small role again? Hello, Sister Chong. Ning Xi, the world will be launching at Pearl Hotel at noon. Don't be late. What? Noon at noon? Noon today. Quote. Yes, today. Sister Chong, why didn't you inform me in advance? It's almost 11 o'clock. Quote. Why not? Didn't I inform you an hour in advance? An hour. I might not even have enough time to get there, not to mention I have to change and put on makeup. That's your own business. Don't bother me. I'm very busy now. I'm hanging up. After saying that, he directly hung up the phone with a bang. Chong. F***CKU. Ning Xi threw her phone. Ning Xi was stunned. Xiaobao was stunned. Lu Tingxiao was stunned too. Ning Xi wiped her face, wishing she could dig a hole and bury herself in it. She was so excited that she forgot that she was still in the Lu residence and that there was a beauty of the motherland beside her. She had no intention of pretending to be a lady in front of Lu Tingxiao, but it would be bad if she led Xiaobao astray. Ahem, Xiaobao, let's pretend we didn't hear it just now. You can't learn from Auntie and scold people because Auntie wasn't scolding people just now. Ning Xi explained seriously. Xiaobao blinked and nodded, not understanding. Lu Tingxiao's eyes flashed with a smile. What's wrong? Ning Xi gritted her teeth. The launch of the world will start at noon today, but it's almost 11. My agent called to inform me that it will take at least 50 minutes to get to Pearl Hotel from here. Do I have to go on camera without makeup? Why not? You have enough makeup. Quote. Ning Xi was stunned for a moment. She did not expect Tingxiao to be so eloquent. She scratched her head in embarrassment and said, ahem, thank you for your praise, Master Xiao. However, out of politeness, I still have to put on some makeup. The most important thing is that I don't have any suitable clothes at the moment. Wait a moment. Tingxiao raised his hand to indicate for her to calm down. Then, he took his phone and went to the yard to make a call. 10 minutes later, a man arrived panting. Boss Lu, I've brought all the things you wanted. Shall we start now? The newcomer wore a pair of ripped jeans, a gray linen shirt, and a signature dark blue earring in his left ear. Ning Xi was surprised to find that the person was a familiar face. Of course, familiar face meant that Ning Xi knew him, but he didn't know Ning Xi. Arthur, the personal stylist of the movie queen Su Yumo under Shengxi Entertainment who could turn something rotten into something magical. He was a big shot that a small shrimp like her could only watch from afar. This is. Ning Xi asked suspiciously. You don't know him? Tingxiao asked. Of course I know the famous Arthur. But why did you ask him to come over? To style you, of course. Tingxiao said matter-of-factly. Ning Xi was speechless. She whispered in his ear, you actually asked someone from Shengxi Entertainment to style me. Are you kidding me? Don't you know that I'm an artist from Starlight Entertainment? Shengxi Entertainment and Starlight Entertainment are sworn enemies, okay. Quote. So what? Tingxiao looked like an overbearing CEO. Chapter 29. So what? Ning Xi was speechless. Boss Lu, how can you help an artist from another company? Do you know your employees? It seemed that he didn't know her. She was not famous now, so he definitely didn't know her. She was really defeated by Tingxiao. After all, Shengxi Entertainment is a subsidiary of your Lu Enterprises. Although Lu Jingli was in charge of Shengxi, the boss behind the scenes was Lu Group's CEO, Tingxiao. Lu Group had been involved in the entertainment industry since 5 years ago, when it acquired Shengxi Entertainment and created an entertainment empire. Now it was as powerful as Starlight Entertainment, which had the longest history and was the current leader in the industry. So it was obvious how fierce the competition between the two companies was. Artists, agents, makeup artists and stylists from both companies were at loggerheads. As long as there was a set, artists from both companies would definitely fight. Tingxiao raised his hand and looked at his watch. The nanny car is at the door. You can do your makeup on the way there. It's not too late. It's up to you whether you want to go or not. Ning Xi felt so conflicted that her liver hurt. Finally, she gritted her teeth. Go. Since Tingxiao didn't care, she didn't have to care. Seeing Tingxiao following them, Ning Xi was surprised. Are you coming with us? Who else will drive? Besides, Xiao Bao wants to stay with you for a while. His tone was matter-of-fact, as if everything he said was the truth and she was asking stupid questions. Xiao Bao nodded. Okay. In the end, the four of them got into the nanny car together with Arthur. Tingxiao didn't even change his clothes. He was still in his home clothes, driving in the front. Ning Xi and Arthur were in the back seat, and Xiao Bao was lying on the back of the seat, looking at them curiously. Arthur looked at Ning Xi carefully, and his eyes were full of admiration. Miss, your facial features are perfect, and your skin is very good. You don't need to do much. You just need to put on some light makeup. What kind of occasion are you going to attend today? Let me choose your outfit for you. Well, it's a movie launch ceremony. Ning Xi was afraid that he would beat her up if he found out she was an artist from Starlight Entertainment. Fortunately, Arthur didn't ask any more questions. He nodded and continued to do her makeup. When they arrived at the site of the booting ceremony, Ning Xi's full costume was just ready. Her timing was very precise. Tingxiao turned off the engine and stopped the car. He rested his arms on the back of the seat and looked at the woman who had already done her makeup. How is it? Ning Xi asked nervously. Not bad. It wasn't easy for someone as harsh as Tingxiao to say that it wasn't bad, not to mention that Xiao Bao was staring at her with a look of amazement. Ning Xi suddenly felt full of confidence, and then hugged Xiao Bao apologetically. Baby, I'm sorry for the slip of the tongue, but Auntie promises you that I will finish my work soon and come back to accompany you. Xiao Bao reluctantly stayed in Ning Xi's arms for a while. Knowing that she was in a hurry, he quickly let go of her and waved at her. Looking at the two people behind her, one big and one small, Ning Xi's heart swelled full. After fighting alone for so long, this was the first time he felt such warmth. After Ning Xi left, the driver was naturally Arthur. Arthur could no longer suppress his curiosity. As he drove, he asked carefully, Boss, who was that lady just now? Is she a new artist hired by our company? Why haven't I seen it before? Quote. Oh my god. Their big boss actually had a woman by his side. This was big news. Tingxiao tilted his chin and answered unhurriedly, an artist from Starlight Entertainment. Arthur. At that moment, the expression on Arthur's face was as sullen as if he had eaten a pound of shish *tea. Boss, you actually want me to style an artist from Starlight Entertainment? Why did boss take a lead to betray the country and collude with the enemy? Even second young master would never look for an artist from Starlight Entertainment when looking for a lover. If it was second young master sitting here, he would definitely scold him righteously and angrily. But this was the devil, Lu Tingxiao. Therefore, he could only sulk until he died, not even daring to let out a fart. What made him even more depressed was that he suspected that this unknown artist from Starlight Entertainment would be their future lady boss, right? After all, this was a woman that even little prince treated with respect. Not simple. Chapter 30. At the opening ceremony of the world, the main cast and crew were all present. There were flashes everywhere, and the media was everywhere. There was also a large group of fans who came after hearing the news. Most of the media was surrounding Ning Xi, who was playing the female lead, and Zhao Siju, who was playing the male lead. One was the leading actress of Starlight, and the other was the best actor of the Academy Award. The combination of a handsome man and a beautiful woman was naturally eye-catching. Xueluo, we all know that you and Siju are working together as a couple this time. This is the second time you've worked together as a couple. I wonder if you'll fall for a man like Siju in real life. Haha, Siju is indeed very charming, but I won't. I don't have any extra heart for him anymore. As soon as she said that, all the media started to make a ruckus. A year ago, Ning Xueluo announced that she had a boyfriend, and all kinds of people tried to dig up the inside story. In the end, they found out that the other party was the son of Su Hongguang, the CEO of Yifeng Group. He had a high net worth and was handsome. He was a handsome and rich man, and everyone was envious of him. Although the fans were very sad, they were no longer as averse to their idols getting married and dating as they were in the past. Most of them still wished their idols to find a good man. Ning Xueluo's popularity did not decrease after she announced her relationship. Instead, she kept up her popularity with topics like handsome and rich boyfriend and winner in life. Zhao Siju, who was next to her, was also very good at picking up on the joke. He held his chest and pretended to be in pain. Miss Shangguan, you're so cruel. I've given my heart to you. This time, Ning Xueluo was playing the female lead called Shangguan Yingrong, and Zhao Siju was playing the role of a prince. When the reporters heard that, they all laughed and teased Zhao Siju. The atmosphere was very lively. This time, other than the male and female leads, the second female lead was the most eye-catching. Therefore, Guo Kasheng was also surrounded by a group of people. Director Guo, why didn't I see the actress playing Meng Chang? Will she be here today? Quote, of course. Rumor has it that even Jia Qingqing didn't succeed in the audition because you thought she wasn't beautiful enough. Is that true? This question was clearly meant to stir up trouble. However, Director Guo was also a veteran, and his words were watertight. The role of Meng Chang does have high requirements for the actor's appearance, but appearance is not the only standard. Jia Qingqing's appearance is definitely not a problem, but it feels like there's still a certain gap between her and our requirements. I heard that the actor playing Meng Chang is a newcomer. Since the requirements for the role of Meng Chang are so high, will she be able to fully control the role if we use a newcomer rashly? Quote, what's going on today? Did I not give enough red packets? The reporters' questions were sharper and sharper, and all of them were targeted at the second female lead. Let's wait and see when our drama comes out. The reporters still refused to let go of this question and asked aggressively, Director Guo, is the actor who plays Meng Chang more beautiful than Jia Qingqing? It was not over yet. Yes. So what if she was prettier than Jia Qingqing? What beauty in 100 years. When you see Ning Xi, let's see if you still dare to boast about Jia Qingqing like this. Well, each has their own merits, you'll know when she's here. Guo Kasheng was getting a little impatient from the questions. At this moment, he walked past a group of reporters and saw a person appearing at the end of the red carpet. He was stunned for 3 seconds before he came back to his senses. Then, he smiled and said, speak of the devil.